When your lungs stop expanding and your heart beats for the last time, your story doesn't end. You wake up to a terrifying new reality. We like to tell ourselves that death is a quiet, dreamless sleep. We carve rest in peace onto gravestones. But the transition out of the physical body is a highly active, fully conscious experience. This diagram illustrates the architecture of the afterlife. Between the physical world and the hereafter lies a solid partition called Barzakh. The living are entirely blind to the other side, and the dead cannot cross back. Inside Barzakh, the normal rules of human existence collapse. Chronological time stops ticking entirely, yet your capacity for sensory perception and the emotional weight of your regret become hyper-activated. You feel everything. Death is a violent awakening into an inescapable waiting room. Your physical body shuts down, but your consciousness is forced to immediately confront the exact choices you made on Earth. The sheer physical sensation of your soul leaving your body is dictated entirely by how you lived in it. For a righteous person, the extraction is peaceful. Angels gently lift the soul upward, and it slips away smoothly, offering zero resistance to the transition. A sinful soul, however, panics. It violently clings to the internal anatomy of the physical body. To extract it, the angels are forced to painfully tear it out by force. Once separated from the flesh, the angels carry the soul up into the heavens. There they present it and ask a single defining question: whose soul is this? This graph illustrates the immediate sorting process. The names of the righteous are recorded in Elliyeen, an elevated, luminous realm characterized by angelic praise and complete peace. Conversely, the names of the damned are struck into Sijjeen. This is an enclosed, dark dungeon buried deep within the earth. That exact millisecond of death permanently locks your human consciousness onto one of these two extreme, irreversible trajectories. Up in Elliyeen, the daily reality is calm. The righteous rest in illuminated gardens. They greet newly arrived souls and eagerly ask for news about the living relatives they left behind. Looking back at our diagram of the veil, we see a specific exception to the separation. Prayers and acts of charity performed by living relatives actively cross the barrier to seek out and comfort these specific souls. It forms a direct earthly tether. Down in Sijjeen, the damned live in absolute isolation. They sit in darkness and are choked by the literal stench of their own misdeeds. These trapped souls physically feel the intense heat generated by their earthly disobedience. It serves as a constant, high-pressure preview of the punishment awaiting them. Because of these stark conditions, the two groups pray for opposite outcomes. The righteous beg for Judgment Day to arrive as quickly as possible so they can enter paradise. The damned scream for time to remain permanently frozen. They are utterly terrified of the final reckoning that follows this wait. Barzakh operates as an active, hyper-real environment. It forces you to sit with the direct consequences of your life, fully conscious and completely unable to change your surroundings. This static era of waiting is strictly temporary. It will conclude violently with the sounding of the trumpet for Qiyamah, the Day of Judgment. The veil of Barzakh will be lifted entirely. Every single soul will be thrust backward into its physical body for the final accounting. In that moment, desperate souls will plead to be sent back to Earth for a second chance to fix their mistakes. That request is met with absolute, uncompromising rejection. There are absolutely zero opportunities for renegotiation. The waiting room functioned as a flawless mirror, perfectly reflecting exactly what you earned during your life. Every breath you take in the physical world dictates your placement in the hereafter. Long after the world forgets your name, you will find yourself waiting in Barzakh, facing the unavoidable truth of your own actions.